Welcome all you beautiful people. This routine is going to be super quick, super simple, and designed to help us open up our hips, right? We hold so much tension, usually sadness and anger actually, those two specific emotions, like to store themselves deep inside the hips. So this is going to be a pretty quick way just to loosen it up. It's also a great way to start your day after a long night of sleep, or if you have anything coming up that you need to feel a little more confident for. This will help you kind of flush out and create a good slate for yourself to just handle and move freely. So we're going to start in this pose called deer pose, or 90-90 hips. So basically we'll take our one leg and just kick it back behind us. My right leg we're going to start with up front is parallel to the short edge of your mat. And again, you don't need a mat for this. Just kind of look at the knee in front of you, right leg forward, and see if that knee is about 90 degrees. Then we're going to check our leg to the side, and we want that knee to be about 90 degrees as well. So the shins are parallel with the edges of the mat. And then you'll notice it's hard to sit up straight. So we're going to use that right hand off to the side to just help support us. Some might be leaning more than others. And what we're going to do just to play around with this is play with moving the body from left to right, twisting. So you'll feel the spine moving around, and you'll feel the pressure changing in your hips. So just a few moments, a few breaths to observe the low back, the obliques, and those hips. All right, we're going to take this turn all the way to the right side off that edge. So ignoring the legs over to the side, turn completely away from them to the right, and get your hands like a push-up. What we're going to do is take a little push-up, elbows tucked in towards the body, leaning our head down, and then press back up. Good, inhale, and then exhale, leaning back into that. Good, inhale, coming up, and exhale, dipping down. We'll just take two more here to loosen up. Feeling that low back and the sides of the body. Good, nice and easy. We'll start to sit back up, and as we face forward, we may have gained a little more space to try to sit up straight. It's okay if you're kind of leaning to the side, but do your best to sit up straight and try to lift those hands up, see if you can. And if you can't, just keep those fingertips off to that side to help you, and take a deep breath. Good. If your hands are up, we're going to go a little deeper and try to bring them up to the sides of the head or to the back of the head without putting pressure on the neck. Go ahead and give into that lean. So left elbow dips down towards that left knee. Without closing our elbows together, stay open as we inhale. And exhale, just stay right there. One more breath like that. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Good. As we inhale, sitting back up straight, maybe reaching high to the ceiling, and then exhale, take that push up, but forward this time. So see if you can lean over that front leg, really opening up that hip. Just one more nice deep breath, playing with gentle pulses to open up the bottom of that right leg. Good. So nice and slow. We're going to bring left hand around to the left. Both hands kind of behind the body now, and just lift the knees up and swivel them to the other side. Right, we're just going to move through that a few times. So nice and dynamic movement through those hips. Think of these little windshield wipers. See if you can create that space, create that flow without moving your feet too much, right? Pivoting on those heels, using the hands to help support behind you. And then we're going to switch sides. So if you're in a good spot, you might just flip and you're on the other side. Just check your angles. For me, I'm going to turn to face you guys just so you have a better view. Okay, so now our left shin is in front of our chest as we try to sit up straight, parallel with the short top edge of your mat. And the right leg is now off to the right side. Again, 90-degree angles with the knees. And right away, you'll notice that one side is much easier or much harder than the other. So again, just feeling that out. Hands are supporting us. You might take a few of these little swivels to help loosen up and just learn about yourself here. Big deep breath. And then we'll walk our hands over to the left, right? Turning our body into that little push-up off to that left edge. Maybe bending those elbows. You can take it at whatever pace feels good to come all the way down. Relax. Good. Inhale to sit back up, press back up. And then exhale to melt back down. Good. Inhale. And exhale. We'll take about 2 more. Whatever pace feels good. Make sure you're breathing here. Very good. Slowly coming back up, facing forward, using that space you created to try to bring your hands up, maybe to heart. That natural lean is happening. We'll give into that in a moment. Just stay straight for a second. Breathe. An option to take it a little deeper. Hands come up to the sides of the head. Elbows out wide. Big breath. On that exhale, see if you can lean to the right. Right elbow down to right knee. Really opening up that left side of the body. Without putting any pressure on the neck, just breathe. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Find space through the shoulders and neck. One more breath. We're going to inhale to sit up tall. Maybe reach tall, gaze high. And then exhale, fold forward. Bringing those hands down, just like a push-up again. But now not as deep. We just pulse down and up a few times, getting into that left hip. Right underneath that left leg. Good. One more breath there. Slowly sitting back up. Right hand comes to the right. We bring both hands behind the body and just swivel those knees back and forth, just like we did on the other side. Maybe facing the same direction if you just rotated through that, or facing the opposite way if you're like me and swiveled around. Take one more breath there. And then option, now that we're more loose, and if you want more of a challenge, bring your hands up in front of your heart and see if you can move through those rotations in those hips with the hands up. So this is adding more gravity and more end range strength to those hips. It's okay to round the back a little as we flow for 3, for 2, and for 1. Beautiful. We're going to swivel those legs both out straight in front of us. Take your time to adjust those hips if you need to rock from left to right to find a good grounding to sit up straight in this staff pose, right? Lots of posture muscles are being worked here. Right away, we're just going to point and pull the ankles, feeling space get created through the shins, all the way up into the knees and into those quads nice and active. All right, we're going to inhale. And then exhale, just relax everything and fold forward. Maybe you reach your hands for the outer edges of your feet, or maybe you back your hands up and just relax your head down. This more relaxed version, you might be trying to get your elbows to touch the mat instead of hands to feet. But either variation is great. We'll just take 2 more breaths to try to find a little more space on that exhale. Fully relaxing the neck, unclenching the teeth. Very good. As we sit back up, we're going to swivel those legs around one more time to find hands and knees. So take a moment to find your spacing. We're going to move into a downward facing dog. So we ground our hands, tuck our toes, and lift our knees up and back. We press the earth away. Let your knees bend, your neck relax. Your feet can always adjust. It's easier to move your feet than your hands, right? So we're going to bring our feet kind of close together, And then just bend one knee at a time and wag your tail. Walk your dog. Open up the backs of those legs and try to stay nice and supportive, pressing through those arms and relaxing the neck. Good, one more breath there. As we look forward, our left hand comes into the inside as our left foot steps where our hand was. So that could be challenging. Do your best to find the shape, this lizard lunge. Trying to keep your back knee behind your hip. You can go ahead and relax that knee on the ground once you have your spacing. Then untuck those toes. See if you can slap the floor with the top of your foot. Obviously, you can use any props, blocks, pillows to stack up underneath your hands if you're struggling to breathe in this pose. Otherwise, embrace a little bit of stretch. Make sure you can relax your shoulders, your body, your wrists. And see if you can let that knee splay out to the side, rolling onto the edge of the foot and back. Very good, just two more like that. And then we're going to realign, tuck the toes, lift the knee, and switch out your hand and your foot. So the foot comes in between the hands now. The knee comes right under the chest, our belly is on our thigh. And we're just gonna work to shift back and forth now a few times to straighten that front leg back and forth. If we hold that leg straight, and again, hands can move with any supports under the hands if you need. And if we hold that leg straight, we create this pyramid pose. Trying to draw that left hip back, right hip forward to square up those hips and enhance that stretch. Just for one more deep breath. Good, nice and slow. We step forward, walk the hands forward and step both feet to the top of the mat. And then see if you can sink your hips down into this toe squat. So just taking a moment to feel a little balance. You might be able to drop the heels. You might be able to lift the heels. You might be able to drop the knees. You might be able to lift the knees. All optional, just play. One more breath. And then as we bring the hands back down, right on the mat to support, we lift the hips forward, fold, and then step back for our downward dog. Take another breath to get those feet back. Then as we gaze forward, moving into the right side, hand comes to the center, right foot steps to replace that hand. Good, take a moment to find your spacing, really spacing out those feet, and then you can drop the back knee down, untuck those back toes, relax the shoulders, the wrists, and just find your shape. See if you can splay that knee out and in. A couple times, just observing anything you're holding there. It doesn't need to be much. Remember, everyone's body is different, so just feel what you feel. For one more breath. Very good, right? We tuck those back toes to lift that knee again, and then heel toe that foot in and replace it with that hand. So now we're framing it out, and we're just gonna shift back and forth a few times. Remember, you can always move your hands to assist you as we move. Wherever feels best, or use any props to help you breathe. Shifting, an option to hold that full pyramid shape, just straightening out that front leg. If you feel like you're almost there, but not quite, just take your back foot and hop forward a little bit. We'll take one more breath to fully relax in that stretch. And then as we reground that foot, step back foot forward and just sink into those hips. Try to balance on those toes. Maybe lift those hands, roll out those wrists. Take another breath. On your exhale, straighten those legs, relax your neck. You can widen the feet now. Just sway the body from left to right. As we bend our left knee, left hand stays down, right hand rotates high, and then exhale, coming right back down. So this time, right knee bends, right hand down, and inhale, that left arm comes real high. and exhale back down. Just take one more of these on each side, playing with that rotation and stretch. Transferring sides, one more inhale and exhale. Crossing at those ankles, making your way back to a seat. Any way that works for you. Big deep breath. Feeling out that posture. That is going to conclude our quick hip flush out. If you have some extra time, I encourage you to just lay flat on your back, take a few more deep breaths to meditate. I thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.